Okay, so we're talking about the lower bound. So when we ever have questions like this, we need to make sure we are finding the upper and lower bound values before we substitute them in. So for this value, the upper bound would be 42.5 and the lower bound would be 41.5. For this one, it would be 24.5 and 23.5 and 14.5 and 13.5. So if we're trying to find the lower bound here, we've got two things, one thing on the top being divided by something on the bottom. So in order to get the smallest value, you want a small amount on the top and a big amount on the bottom. That's how you're going to get the smallest, or the lower bound. So the small number on the top, that's pretty straightforward because you've just got 2 multiplied by a. So we would have 2 multiplied by 41.5 on the top. On the bottom, you're going to have the biggest number possible. So that means you want the upper bound for B, but the lower bound for C. That's going to give you the biggest value. So the upper bound for B was 24.5, and the lower bound would be 13.5. And then we're going to, so we've got, anyway, I'm trying to put it in fraction. Alright, so I press this button here to get this. So we've got 2 multiplied by 41.5, 2 multiplied by 41.5 on the top, and 24.5, oh dear, 24.5 subtract 13.5 gives us this 7.54544, so 7.54544, and we need to answer it's 2 sig fig, so that would be 7.5. This one, as I said, I shouldn't say, I've been through this one with you already. So we need to always follow BEDMAS, so we need to do the division before we do the subtraction. So we've got 3 subtract x minus 1. If we're dividing by a fraction, we're going to multiply by its reciprocal. We should notice this is a difference of 2 squares, so we've got that on the bottom, that's equally over 1. We can cancel these out because we've got something same top and bottom, and merge the fractions together. So we've now got 3 subtract 3x plus 2 over x plus 1. Okay, so we're now subtracting things involving fractions. We need to have the same denominator. This is equally over 1, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by x plus 1. So we've got 3 x plus 2 plus 1. So then we're going to expand my bracket and simplify. So we've got x plus 1 as a single fraction. 3x plus 3 subtract 3x subtract 2. And remember, this negative sign affects both of these two terms. So 3x subtract 3x is nothing. 3 subtract 2 is 1 over x plus 1. Done. And the final question. So we're talking about arithmetic sequences. I've clipped this from the formula booklet for you, so they don't forget we've got that there. In order to find the sum of the first 50 terms, we need to know this value here of A and the value of D. Okay, so we're going to do that by focusing on one or both of these two. So for the fourth term of an arithmetic sequence, it's 17. We did this quite briefly. The general formula for an AN is U1 plus N minus 1D. Now you don't get told that So it may be something that you might want to try and remember. So U4, oh dear, U4 is 17. So 17 would be equal to U1 plus 3D. And because we know that U10 is 35, we know that 35 is equal to U1 plus 9, D. We've then got simultaneous equations. I'm going to write that put. And I'm going to subtract the top one, the bottom one from the top. So we've got 35 subtract 17 is, oh my gosh, 18. U1's disappear, and 9 subtract 3 is 6. And so D is 18 over 6, which is 3. So I know my common difference is 3. That means that I can also establish U1 by substituting into either this one or this one. So 17 equals U1 plus 3 multiplied by 3. So U1 is 8. So we now have got all the information we need. Oh, when I say U1, they're called A. Oh, gosh, sorry. All of these places I want to change this to be an A. A. Right, so A is 8. N is, A is 8. N for this question is 50 because it's 50 terms. And D is 3. So sticking that in to the formula, we've got 50 over 2 brackets. I'm just making sure we can keep watching it. 2A, so it's 2 lots of 8, plus N minus 1, I'm going to do that bit in my head, 49 multiplied by 3. 16 plus 49 multiplied by 3 again, you've got to follow their maths, or just chuck it in the calculator. So 25 multiplied by, open up bracket, 16 plus 49 multiplied by 3, close brackets already, which gives 4075.